Daniel, hey, congratulations for a hot zone Anthrax here.
Thank you so much. Nice to see you, Gig.
Hey, terrific, terrific. I just wanted to let you know, as a person, as a journalist who covered the 9/11, and also as a person who fell under that pandemic, last year as one of the earliest people. I mean, this series was terrifying to me.
Wow, yeah, you have some very personal experiences. It could be good to compare notes.
Right? So tell us the easy thing. Why you wanted to do something like a project like this?
A number of reasons. Like you mentioned, all of us remember that time very vividly, and I remember exactly where I was when the towers fell, and uh, it was an experience that I don't remember ever having as an American before. That there was a fear and an uncertainty and a vulnerability that can only come with an attack in your backyard. America has been very lucky in that the world wars that were fought, most of the wars that were fought were not on American soil. So this, was foundation shaking, literally and figuratively. And so I knew what an important story it was to tell for our country. I thought this character was very compelling. He's someone that I hadn't played before in this way. And, in terms of representation, I really liked the fact that, the person that they chose to lead the FBI's investigation in this such a significant event looked like me. And, it broadened the definition of what is American and how we can be defined.
When you're playing a character role like Matthew Riker, where they basically created for a series like this based on true events, does that make it easier or harder on you that you have the freedom to mold this character to whatever he may be?
Yeah, I think it's elements of both. It's easier in that you can decipher the story. As long as you have Google and a computer, you can read as much as you want about the facts of the story. Harder in that if you're dramatizing it in any way, you want to be as respectful to the actual events and even more respectful to the people whose lives were affected by it. People died as a result of this. People died at 9/11. Families were affected, and so the approach mattered, and that was a responsibility that I think all of us took seriously.
So how familiar were you with the anthrax cases? Did you have to prep and research beforehand?
Oh, absolutely. And I remember certain things like Tom Brokaw coming on the news, because that was a time when all of us were getting our news from the same sources, not social media, and an algorithm wasn't telling you what news that you should get. And so when Tom Brokaw and Dan Rather and Peter Jennings were coming on the airwaves, there was a shared narrative about what was happening and a collective feeling of what was going on. I remember all of that. I remember hearing about letters being sent to Dashel, and I remember being afraid to open my own mail, and that's something that you may remember too, Gig. But there was a stretch of like a month where no one was opening mail, and that was pretty significant back then. Now, we don't really get much snail mail anymore, but that was part of the reason why there was a trend toward accelerating toward email as a result of these attacks.
Absolutely. Well, Daniel, hey, thank you very much for carrying this conversation. And I really appreciate you showing diversity by taking this role. Asian to Asian, I love this type of interviews.
Right on, Gig. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Hey, thank you. Bye now. Next time.